Rob Mullens, who is the chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, joins us now. Rob, we spent a lot of time since last night talking about who would get that final spot among the teams that aren't undefeated in the Power Five. How would you describe the discussions as it pertained to Oklahoma and what gave them the edge over Georgia and Ohio State?
Well, we spent considerable time on it, as you might expect. And in the end, one-loss conference champion with their only loss being in a neutral field, close loss to a ranked team, which they avenged in their conference championship. As we've talked about the last several weeks, obviously, dynamic offense. And, their defense has made some big plays in the last couple of weeks.
We've had a robust discussion. I asked you this last week, and candidly, you dodged it a little bit. How do you define best? How narrow is that definition? And how much of it is based in the room on who you think would win the game if these two teams play? Because Vegas thinks it, we think it. A lot of us would pick Georgia to win these games head-to-head. How is that discussion handled?
Well, there's a lot of discussion, and as you might expect in the room, we're looking at full body of work. We understand the charges to get the four best teams, and when you're looking at all that, every bit of that matters. Eye test, data, all of that gets discussed. And I can assure you that every combination was discussed in the room. There was at least one member on every one of these combinations for 4, 5, and 6 that was represented a case for each of those teams to be 4. There was strong debate. There was even division in the room. And we went early into the morning and got back at it again after a couple hours of sleep.
So how did Georgia then wind up between these two one-loss conference champions?
Well, just as I said, every combination was vetted, looking at their full body of work, their resume side by side. In the end, what we decided was amongst the group of 3, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Ohio State, that the committee voted that it was not, no one was unequivocally better than the other. So then we leaned on the protocol. And as we leaned on the protocol, and you know what those are, we're looking at head-to-heads, conference champions, strength of schedule, and results against common opponents. The vote came out that Oklahoma was 4, Georgia was 5, and Ohio State was 6.
Okay, so you look at with Georgia now. They're the one that didn't have a conference champion, but they did have the strongest strength of schedule, at least according to the metrics that I've looked at. Does that indicate that strength of schedule can trump conference championships?
Well, we look at all of them. And in this instance, the conference champion, when one team wasn't unequivocally better than the other, we went to the protocol. And on this one, the one-loss conference champion carried the day.
And, Rob, we've talked a little bit about Notre Dame, too. Was Notre Dame close to moving down? Were they unequivocally among the top 3?
There was a discussion relative to all of the top 6, but absolutely Notre Dame was discussed in that 3, 4, 5 range as well. And the committee felt that they deserved, with their 12-0 record, their body of work, wins over Michigan, wins over Northwestern, win over Syracuse, balanced team, that they deserve that number 3 ranking.
All right, Rob Mullens joining us. Rob, thank you for your time all season. Look forward to seeing you during the college football playoff, and appreciate you answering these questions for which often there are no concrete answers.